Hi guys, welcome back on board of the Crypto Cruiser. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about ICP, Internet Computer, what Internet Computer is all about. We're going to talk some fundamentals, um, what makes it unique. We're going to talk some chart analysis, ICP compared to the dollar. Of course, we're going to talk some traditional markets such as S&P 500. And before we start talking about ICP, let's just start with the godfather of all coins, which is Bitcoin. And has my prediction has been coming out right. Well, we have to wait and see if we're gonna have more upside momentum, and we're gonna break above 100,000, and then potentially to 109,000, or my other scenario that I gave you this morning that potentially will test these prices, but the correction should start now. If we continue and let's say go above 97, 98, then most probably we're gonna break above 100,000, and we're gonna go above and perhaps to 109,000. I mean, let's see. It'll be interesting to see exactly how it's gonna play out. In my personal opinion, um, we can go to these prices, and then we can consolidate a little bit and start dropping to price of around 89. Then perhaps we're gonna have a little bit of bounce to 90 to 93,000, and then next week we can potentially have a huge dump to price of around 83,000, even lower than that to 82,000. I'm not gonna be surprised if something like that plays out. That's how we're gonna test this previous yearly resistance line, and potentially we can turn it into support, and then we can have more continuation of the trend on the upside. I mean, we never actually tested this previously yearly resistance line twice as resistance in 2021 in April at price of around 64,000, its previous all-time high, and then again in November of 2021 at price of around 69,000. We had another test this year in March, and we broke down again, and this month in November we actually snapped out of it. We broke on the upside, but we never had that test. So potentially, this is just my personal opinion, sooner than later we'll come and test these prices around between 82 and 85,000. What difference does it make if we're gonna go first to 109 and then we correct, or the correction has already started? Regardless, my point of view stands that we're going to these prices eventually to 80, between 82 and 85,000. This is going to be the correction. We'll find the bottom. We turn this previous yearly resistance line into support, and then we're going to have more continuation of the trend on the upside, and potentially by the end of the year or early next one, by end of January, I'm not going to be surprised if we hit price of above 109,000. Of course, after that, who knows how exactly it's going to play out. My personal opinion that we're due for a huge correction and shake off few weak hands. I mean, if you've been following my channel, my predictions has come out quite well, especially here at price of around 70,000. I've told you I anticipate huge downward momentum and start testing prices beneath 60,000, and then potentially we're gonna have a final wash off to shake off all the weak hands, potentially drop below 50,000, and that's exactly what we did. Then I've called this local top at 65,000 as well. I've called this bottom at 52,000, and then the continuation of the trend and start hitting all-time high prices. I mean, I've nailed these markets. How did I know that? Because I've been following the S&P 500 as well. I mean, most of the time they are very much correlated. Not all the time, but most of the time. And here, from middle of July of 2024, this year, till beginning of August, we had a huge ABC correction, 10% on the downside. And what did I tell you? I anticipate a V-shaped recovery. I mean, you can turn back some of my videos, guys. I think my very first video was a V-shaped recovery, and that's exactly what we did. At 5,650, we test this previous all-time high, and we dropped the way I've told you. I've told you we're gonna drop to these prices. Its previous resistance line, we turn it into support, and then we're gonna have the continuation of the trend on the upside and potentially hit price of around 6,000. A little bit of a pullback to these prices of this local top at 5,850. We turn this local top into support, and then we're gonna have more continuation of the trend. And I've told you that this week I'm anticipating price of around 6,100. Well, but perhaps it's not going to play out this week, but next week definitely I anticipate something like that. Of course, anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes. And before you do anything, do due diligence and make your own research, because as I've said, this is not a financial advice. In the process, we actually formed another bullish chart pattern, a reverse head and shoulders, and measure from the head to the bottom. The price target should be above 6,250. So that's what I'm anticipating by the end of the year or early next one, or S&P 500 to go above 6,250, and then potentially we're gonna have a correction. But let's just take one trade at a time. But let's just talk about internet computer and what internet computer is all about. If we just look at the market capitalization, at certain point, the market cap of ICP was around 53 billion, and that's exactly it was launched around November, beginning of November of 2021, and then exactly the bear market started. I clearly remember, and I mean the market capitalization was absolutely massive at 53 billion, so pretty much 10x from now. So if we go and test this market capitalization, its previous all-time high, that'll be 10x from here. So internet ICP will have a price of around $110. But if we have like a full price discovery, we can potentially, my personal opinion, we can go to $200. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Anything I say in this video, it is not a financial advice. Again, before you do anything, do diligence and make your own research. But internet computer, it's a very unique coin on itself. Blockchain. So basically, the ICP blockchain incorporates a radical rethink of blockchain design powered by innovations in cryptography. It provides the first world computer blockchain that can be used to build almost any online system or service, including demanding web social media, without need for traditional IT such as cloud computing services. As such, it can enable full end-to-end decentralization. Why does the ICP token have value? The ICP token has three main utilities. Firstly, ICP provides a source of cycles that are burnt to power computation. Thus, when ICP is converted to cycles, it disappears, creating deflationary pressure. Secondly, ICP can be staked in the permissionless network nervous system DAO that governs the internet computer blockchain, creating voting neurons that generate voting rewards. Thirdly, ICP plays the role of a store of value, for example, allowing users to invest in decentralization sales run by Web3 services. I mean, has a lot of use cases, as we can clearly see, and ICP, I think, my personal opinion, is quite undervalued. So it's definitely definitely worth look into that coin. Let's just talk about some chart analysis. I mean, we don't have much of a data because, as I've said, it was launched exactly at its peak of the previous bull cycle, and just that moment we started that bull, that bear market, and I mean we've been in a downward momentum ever since. But what I'd like to see actually is to go and basically test this resistance line. So basically, we had quite a lot of tests here in May of 2022. We almost got there to July of 2022. We had almost got there to in January of 2024, and price of around $20. We actually tested it in March of 2020, end of March of 2024, price of around $20. So at the time of recording this video, ICP is at price of around $11-12. So from here, we were consolidating for quite a bit between prices $6 and $7. And I'd like first to take out this local top at price of around $21. If we have the strength, go above it and potentially break out of this resistance line at price of around $25, perhaps consolidate. We clearly see there's no resistance. There's just one downward momentum and this is potentially what can happen, like a huge V-shaped recovery. Is that what I can see in the charts if the bulls take over, of course. and potentially go test this price of around $80 and $90. And if we snap out of it, this previous all-time high, as I've said, at a market capitalization of above 55 billion, we can quickly snap to above 100 billion, and that'll be price of around $200. I mean, we have to look at the previous bull cycle. Even Dogecoin went above 100 billion market capitalization, and that's just a meme coin. Strictly fundamentally, I think Internet Computer is way more valuable than Dogecoin, but of course that's just my personal opinion. Let's see how it's gonna play out. As I've said, I'd like first to see more strength to get to these levels of around $90 to $80, take out this local top, consolidate above this trend line, perhaps we turn into support. And then, as I've said, there's not much resistance because in 2021 in 2022 we had just a downward momentum all the way to the bottom. So if something like that plays out, I anticipate exactly the opposite direction. Go above. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate all the support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And if you want to subscribe to my Patreon and really support my work, that would be absolutely amazing. With that subscription comes you can get my 2 books for absolutely free. The Art of Chart Analysis, over 70 pages of how to become a sophisticated trader and gain quite a lot of knowledge in the art of chart analysis. And of course, my other book, the Crypto Guidebook, filled with very useful information for this bull cycle. And of course, with that subscription comes exclusive content with the most undervalued, underappreciated coins out there. Some of them with 50, 100x potential. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.